Be a little below average for the time of year. That is the weather forecast. And now for the outlook in southwestern districts. Gale force winds are likely to keep yachtsmen well inshore, and there is little hope of an improvement with continuous rain or drizzle in most places.
Well, they were wrong. Wednesday the 27th of August, 1958, turned out to be bright and breezy. Just right for the start of the main event of the National Firefly Week, the race for the Sir Ralph Gore Cup. There were thousands of holidaymakers in Weymouth, and this was quite an attraction, for never before had so many national class, one-design dinghies been seen all in the same race. The beach was a wonderful sight as the competitors were getting ready for the start. The Firefly has certainly become very popular with sailing enthusiasts. Incidentally, well over 2,000 have been built now, and there's hardly a sailing club without one. There were so many competitors, more than 160, that the line was over 750 yards long. The start was a good one, helped by a synchronized signal given at both ends of the starting line. The race was over 5 laps of a triangular course. The race was made more exciting by a moderate swell and fresh winds. One of the advantages of sailing with a one-design dinghy, such as the Fairey Firefly, is that all competitors have exactly the same chance. So the race depends upon the skill of the individual helmsman, and it makes no difference whether his boat is new or 10 years old, perhaps. It is probably this that accounts for the very rapid growth of dinghy sailing today. Besides being fun, it calls for mental as well as physical skill. But let's get back to the race. Tinley, in 106, Ataxia, soon came to the front and led the fleet around the first mark, closely followed by Chapman in 396, Golden Crest. Although the race was long and tiring, the handling of most of the dinghies around the marks was so good that very few of them came to grief. Of course, in a race like this, both skill and endurance are major factors. And with these weather conditions, it was obvious that anyone hoping to win would have to work hard. On the second leg of the faster reach of the course, the dinghies planed well, and this gave the lighter crews a good chance to improve their positions. At the end of the second lap, 106, Ataxia, was well ahead and still increasing her lead. By now, the fleet was really spreading out, with 19, Chameleon, in second place, followed by 396, Golden Crest. Despite 3 hours of sailing, very few dinghies ran into trouble. This speaks well for all helmsmen and their crews, especially as towards the end of the race, the wind rose to over force 5. There were some minor changes in the first 6 places during the last run to windward, but Ataxia finished first, followed by Chameleon. Tosca, owned by Barton, was placed third. Well, that was it then. The end of a very fine race in a week full of exciting sailing. And although this race was the highlight of the week, there were still many battles to be fought out to decide the winner of the Firefly Points Challenge Cup. It's quite obvious that Firefly sailing is more popular than ever. Every year there are more and more competitors for this event, and this means that more and yet more people are discovering that the initial and running costs of Fireflies are low enough for anyone to afford. This has been made possible by Fairey's modern mass production techniques. Back on dry land and all boats beached, it was time to discuss the finer points of the race. You never know. Next time, you may find yourself being congratulated. There's always tomorrow.
And now the outlook for tomorrow in the southwest. It will be cloudy with rain in most places, and strong winds are likely to